Who do you need to become to make $1 million or more? Because it's the journey that makes you the millionaire, not just the end result. The journey actually makes you. You have the dream, then you start going through the journey, and the journey makes you. What mindset changes must be made for you to become a millionaire? What mindset are you of that could be hindering you? So when I talk about how to become a millionaire, how to make millions in your business, it's not something I dreamed up and thought of yesterday. It's not because it's a great catchy title right now, but it's because something I have experienced over and over and over and over again. And I figured out from the School of Hard Knocks, and I did add some coaching and some help in there along the way. And I found out that it's worth it to pay to get the help, because I probably could have cut, even though I had great success, I could have probably got to my success even quicker and even went higher faster. So, however, when I was trying to figure out how to push to $1 million, I wish I had somebody there to tell me what I'm here to tell you. I dedicated my life to be able to duplicate my life in somebody else's life, to be able to show you how to make $1 million, how to be successful in business. And I understand there's two components, like Ariana was talking about, is strategy mixed with spirituality. And that's what's done it for me over and over and over again. To keep me from spinning my wheels and from trying things that simply didn't work, I wish I would have just stopped and got the help. Someone who would have just said, save me hundreds of thousands of dollars instead of losing that much, because yes, you heard my success, but in between there have been some failures, and I had to get back up, catch my breath, and keep going. But I had to figure it out the hard way, but I got it figured out now. And so I know what to do. I understand the strategies. I figured out even if you had to pay higher ticket for help, it was worth it. That's one thing I did figure out, that it's worth it to pay to get the help. I also decided to be a help to others, and I watched people struggle along. You know, I can identify the real from the fakers. When I see people online, they're like, I can show you how to make $1 million. I'm making $1 million. There's certain things, because I've done it not once, not twice, not 3 times, but over 10 times in my life have I generated millions and millions of dollars. I know what it looks like. And so I can identify, wow, that person can help them, or no, that person's not going to be able to help them because they're not there themselves. Not because I'm trying to put anybody down, but because I know that I've dedicated my life to help others to become $1 million entrepreneurs. And I know what also feels like never breaking past certain ceilings and never really reaching freedom-based life. That's frustrating. It can be totally frustrating to want to have a freedom-based life, but never, ever, ever really reach that. Did you know that most businesses never make more than $1 million? Only 3% of businesses ever do 1 million in total revenue, and that's from statistics given in America right now. Only 3%. So most businesses can only do maybe 100K, 250K, 500K, maybe you can get to 700, 800K, and then they get stuck right there. It is a shift, a mindset, and it is a manifestation thinking that gets you past that mark over to the $1 million mark. The people who reach out to me the most are those who are frustrated with looking rich without really being rich. You know, you can look like you have it together. You can look like you're rich. You can look like your bank account is full, but in actuality, it's really not. Those people that I coach are the people that are tired of looking the part, but not being the part. They came to a place where they're saying, you know what? No more playing games for me. I want to actually go to bed at night and know that there's money in the bank. I want to actually wake up and be able to have choices and do what I want, go where I want, eat what I want, and be what I want, and I feel good about it. I want to actually not have worry hanging over my head and looming over me during the day and at night. So that's who I'm here for. I'm here for those people who are ready to be real and be raw and say, I really want to be rich. Those who are stuck right at that $500,000 mark or so and can't get past that $1 million mark, that's who I'm called to. They have no idea the action steps it takes to get to 1 million, and they're ready to admit it. Let me tell you something, that once you get the help and once you get the strategy, it's easier than you ever imagined. It's really, really a lot easier than you ever imagined, especially the day that we live in. There are so many millionaires made today that it's not even funny. It's easier now than it's ever been in history, even though we've been through the toughest years of our life, the last 3 years in American history. But it's easier to become a millionaire right now than it was 10, 15 years ago. There's so many ways to make $1 million. You could sell $1,000, you could sell 1,000 people times $1,000 worth of product and you're at $1 million, $1,000 product. You could sell 500 people a $2,000 product or service and you're at $1 million. You could sell 200 people $5,000 worth of product or services and you're at $1 million. You could sell 100 people $10,000 worth of product or services and you're at $1 million. You could sell 10 people $100,000 worth of product or services and you're at $1 million. You get the picture, okay? I'm just telling you, I can mix it up so many ways. But no matter how simple those numbers are, remember that out of 3 of every 100 businesses ever get there. So if today you haven't hit that $1 million mark, then that means you're one of the 97% that haven't hit it, even though there's multiple ways to get there. So what does that mean, Dr. Stacia? What are you saying? That means that you need to get help fast. Because if we are living in an economy and living in a time where you can make $1 million, but you're of the 97% that's not making $1 million, then that means you need to move fast and take some action so that you can get on the 3% side and become a millionaire.
That's good. That's real.
That means that you have the possibility, you have the opportunity, you have everything around you to make $1 million. You just have to make the right move so that you can get there. So of course you already know that. That's why you're watching. That's why you're tuned in. That's why you're here with me today. That's why you're locked in. You're locked in because you're one of those people that says, I read the title of what I'm looking at today and I want to make $1 million or multiple millions. You're ready to do something about it. You're ready to change things around. And you know, there's a saying that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When you're ready to make $1 million, you show up, and you showed up. Now, the problem is that you showed up and you have no clue what you're going to do or no clue what you've been doing that's right or what's wrong. That's where we come in. Most people don't know what to do. And they're asking, where am I going? They don't even know who to ask. Where do I go? What do I do? How do I make this shift? How can I make things happen fast? You can have the ideas, you can have the dreams, the goals, but you know, we understand that most dreams die between what to do and how to do them. So here's what to do. I'm going to give you some answers. I hope you got your journal out. The first thing you got to do is get focused on what you can really do to make $1 million. See, throughout my journey and throughout my life, there's always been several things that come up on my plate. And one thing about making $1 million is that you can't say yes to everything. You have to narrow in your focus. And another thing is that when I say get focused on what can really make you $1 million, is that sometimes you have to let your ego go to get to your goals. Oh my God, throughout my journey, there's so many times that I wanted to make $1 million a certain way. And I'm not saying this because, you know, you have desires and dreams and goals on the inside of you. And those goals, desires, and dreams are given to you. I believe they're given to you by God. So I believe you're supposed to do something with them. But I can remember one time when I was like so just headstrong on, I'm going to make my $1 million from this particular book. It's going to be from this book, this book. This book is going to do it. And I mean, I was pushing that book and I was doing everything. And that book made a lot of money because I had all this effort into it. Then, somebody seen the book and said, would you come speak on the book? And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll come speak on the book because, I want to sell more of the books. So I started speaking about what was in the book. Well, let me tell you something. That year, I made over $1 million, not from the book. I made $1 million from speaking about the book. Y'all don't hear me. All right, so sometimes you got to get focused on what really matters to make it to $1 million. When I start seeing the checks, the things come in from me speaking about the book, I said, okay, we're going to sell the books, but we're going to definitely make sure we keep talking about this book because I'm making more money talking about it than you reading it. And so that was my aha moment. Most business people keep adding on too many products and services to focus on, and they don't say no to enough things. Sometimes we think to make $1 million, we got to expand to this huge product line. Now, I will admit right now I have a huge product line and tons of content from over the years and lots of several ways to make millions of dollars. But I had to streamline and narrow in. You got to first get your first $1 million. You got to get some money to be able to market other stuff.
That's good.
You got to first focus and hone in so you can market all these other things. Why are you trying to market 10 things when you don't have enough money to market the one thing? So that is what you have to do. Number 2, you get only the help you really need. Most people exhaust themselves with thinking they need too many people, too much infrastructure. And then what happens is when you got too many people and too much infrastructure, then managing the infrastructure and the people become a business all in itself. That becomes a whole nother business, just managing those people. Now, you need people to grow. Let me tell you this. Now, to have $1 million business and company and make millions, there's going to have to be people. There's going to have to be team players. You're going to have other people to help you. But you got to know who do you really need and cut out all the fat. All those things that you don't really need, and quit overthinking everything. Quit thinking that you have to have so much in order to even make it. Sometimes you can make it by streamlining. Sometimes you just have to hustle more and you can make it. So that's what I do. I've learned how to do way more with way less, and I teach my clients exactly how to do that. How to do way more with way less, and how you can become great success with less. The third thing, you got to become your best self. Now, this is where it really gets, where the rubber meets the road. Who do you need to become a millionaire? Who do you need to become to make $1 million or more? Because it's the journey that makes you the millionaire, not just the end result. The journey actually makes you. You have the dream, then you start going through the journey, and the journey makes you. So who do you have to become? What mindset changes must be made for you to become a millionaire? What mindset are you of that could be hindering you? What mindset? What type of thinking do you have? Or do you think that it can't be you? Do you have struggle with worthiness? Do you think that, that you don't want to invest in things? Or does $1,000 spending scare you? Are you always talking about other people and their money? And, are you talking about it doesn't take all that? And, do you frown on rich people, but you want to be one of them? Just what mindset are you of? What changes? Who do you have to become in order to be a millionaire? Where have you been stuck on yourself and you need to change yourself? Like, are there dress codes that have to change? Do you need to, what air are you breathing? Who are you around? Who are you hearing from? What are you watching? What are you doing? How long do you lay in the bed per day? Who do you have to become? Do you have to get up? Do you have to get out? Do you have to associate? Do you have to become a talker, a learner, associator? Do you have to become nicer, friendlier, smile? Who do you have to become? Do you have to become better kept? Do you have to keep up yourself, your body, what do you have to become the millionaire you want to be? What mindset changes have to be made? Are you a reader? Do you have great conversation? Can you have a conversation that lasts more than 10 minutes besides talking about a TV show? Like, who do you have to become a millionaire? What's your daily to-do list look like? What changes have to happen in your daily productivity, ratio? To become a millionaire, how productive are you? You have to decide that you're going to take a no excuse approach on what's happening in your life and decide that throughout whatever's happening, if I'm going to become a millionaire, then with those happenings, then I have to still hit the grind and do what I have to do along with what's going on. So I got to get creative in the midst of the chaos. So what do your to-do list, what does it have to look like? How do you have to, be intentional with your day? How do you have to think about it? And then your routines and your rituals, how do those have to change for you to become a millionaire? Do you need to have more time of solitude, more time to meditate day and night? Do you need to do some things before you go to bed at night so your sleep patterns are different? So do you sit and seek? Do you stop and talk to your supernatural partner? You got to get my supernatural manifestation series on that. But I'm saying, like, what has to change for manifestation? What relationships? Who do you hang around? What do they have you doing? Where do they have you going? What do they have you saying? What do they have you participating in? What kind of conversations they got you talking about? Who are you talking to, and what do they have you actually doing in your free time? Is your free time being absorbed with non-actionable activities that have nothing to do with making millions? Who encourages you? Who pushes you? Who strategizes with you? Who are your purpose partners, your profit partners? Who's talking about numbers and talking about gain and increase with you? What actually must you engage in to manifest $1 million in your business? These are the kind of answers that we get to in Success Mastery, my coaching program. This is what we do. This is who I am. This is what we get to. We help you to define and intentionalize your life so that you can be the person that can really make $1 million or more. Number 4, get help. The only thing that compounds faster than interest is learning. So, when we're talking about making millions, compounding, you all know that compounding is the way to make millions. But when we're talking about an entrepreneur and a business person, the only thing that compounds faster than interest is learning. You can compound your learning just like that. I'm telling you, you can go get a book. You can get in my Women in Wealth Club. You can get in the book club and read a book, and you can compound your learning week after week, day after day. You can be learning and learning and learning and learning and compounding and becoming a whole new person. Always remain teachable, trainable, coachable, and humble. That means never try to do this alone. Don't be the Lone Ranger. Get some help. Get community. Find your tribe. There's space in mind for you. Get help. Get with successful others and mastermind and think. Don't ever feel like you've arrived where you don't need the help or you can do it by yourself. That's a lonely road. And now more than ever, we need community. You need to be in a company of community. I have in my affirmation, I say this all the time. I'm so happy and grateful that my community always service me with customers. My community keeps my cash flowing. That's part of my saying. Why? Because I understand the importance of community. Sometimes we're so quick to be offended and to break off from community. That's why we never make our millions. Because every week we're dealing with your offense instead of dealing with your game plan. You got to stay out the offense arena. Don't be the person that offends other or that's easily offended. I never would have made millions in all those industries. I was easily offended. I had people tell me I would never make it. Tell me you can't be a perfumer. You can't make it selling perfume. Why are you in the nail polish industry? That's not for you. People are telling me, you can't make $1 million in speaking. You got to be like Tony Robbins. You know, you can't make it in this industry. You can't be on TV and pay your own bills. You got to be like so-and-so to be able to say that, you know, to do this or do whatever. But you know what? I didn't get offended. I got tough. I got better. I got better than the person who told me I couldn't do it. I can take your job now. Because I went and learned and I grew and I went and got help and I went and paid to advance my life. So remain teachable. When you're in a financial crisis and your business needs more money, then manifestation is everything. Everything. You first have to see your way out before you can strategize your way out. So you got to understand manifestation is key. You got to make sure that you stay in a company of people that understand that on this journey of life and success, it's a faith assignment, not just a financial assignment. You have to stay in faith and belief and hope that things are going to turn out right. You have to have an expectation that there's a good end. The richest people in the world have coaches and paid to be in masterminds and pay to get help. And they even invest to make sure that their faith stays at a certain level. You have to invest in your advancement. And it's not a one-time investment. Don't be too cheap with your dreams and your goals and your desires. If you're feeling stuck, it's probably only because you're being too cheap. You say, Dr. Stacia, you understand my financial situation? You understand what I have? Whatever you have, take it to invest to get to where you want to be and not where you are. Kill a couple Starbucks, kill a couple steak dinners, whatever it may be, wherever you are. Just declare whatever I have. If it's only energy, I'm going to use that energy to be better. Whatever I have, I'm going to get with the right people in the right circles. Get up.
Yes.
Get going.
Come on.
Shake yourself off and quit talking about what you don't have, what you can't afford, who won't do what for you, and decide that I'm going to enter the 3% and become a millionaire business person, entrepreneur, a side hustle gig millionaire, whatever it is. Decide that it's going to be me. I'm one of them. Yes. When you make the decision, everything changes.
Come on. Come on. Teach.
Because the same people that won't invest to advance will invest to impress. So make sure that you got your intentions right. If you really want to enter in this arena, then invest to advance, not just to impress. Because you're impressing people who don't have millions anyway. The people that really got it, you're not impressing them. They can look from a distance and know you don't have it. So why am I saying all this? Because when you get the right help, a business coach, success coaching, when you get those kind of things, it can change your life for real when you really take heart to it. With the right kind of coach, the right kind of help, it can take years and turn your success into months. It can take months and turn into weeks. It could take what you could make in weeks and turn it into days, one-day turnarounds.